All right, shalom, shalom, boys. Here, well, again, another video trying to help people, trying to impart some type of understanding of how we need to be moving. And the topic of this video is going to be trauma-based relationships. Trauma-based relationships. And what do I mean by that? I'll give you an example. You know how people go to Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous, and they've been through something. So they get together and they talk about, what they've been through. Or people that been in a situation where they were abused. And so these people come together and they share their trauma. They share their experiences. They disclose to one another what happened to them, and the other person discloses to them what happened. We've all seen or heard someone or seen this depicted in a movie. It is quite common. Veterans, they'll get together. It's all based on some kind of trauma that they've experienced. And that's okay, because we've all been through some kind of trauma. We've all been through some kind of situation where it has scarred us, and it's understandable. This is life. This is how life goes. This is the trials and tribulations, the ups and downs associated with life. And for most, they can avoid. But when it comes to all of these different areas, somebody or we've been through some type of trauma in our lives. And so what we naturally want to do is we want to communicate with others based on that trauma. And have you ever been in a situation? I have, and it's understandable, where you have developed in a relationship, and based on that relationship, it's based on the trauma that you've experienced. So you're always recounting, you're always talking about this trauma. And it's bonding based on trauma, because we all need to vent. This is a healthy thing. This is a healthy thing to do. And it's important that you go through the healing process. But the problem is today is that people will stay in this damaged state, this broken state. And it's not healthy to be in that state in an indefinite period of time. The whole idea of these situations, or at least the hope would be, is that you've learned from it, you've vented, you've shared your ideas and perspectives, and then you move forward. And how do you move forward? Is that you're no longer dealing with it, so it no longer needs to be rehashed. It's like a person that used to use drugs or was an alcoholic. They don't talk about alcohol anymore because they've gone past it. They don't talk about the traumas and experiences associated with that alcohol addiction. They don't bring it up again because they've healed from it, and that's a good thing. But when you are dealing with people that has gone through traumatic situations, whether it's via substance abuse or relationship or neglect or whatever they may have been through, regardless of what they have been through, right? You have to understand that you want to move forward. You want to build. And the key to moving forward, the key to building, is the notion that you've taken that relationship to a next step or next level. What does that look like? Okay? You're no longer dealing with those traumas, but now you're building friendships and you're building relationships based on a renewed understanding of where you want to be, and if those people's values align. That's a good thing. So that may take the form of you two doing a project together, or your families hanging out together, or hey, what are you doing for Easter or Thanksgiving or Christmas and New Year's? Let's get together. What are you doing for a feast day? Let's get together. That's how that healing process, and you know a person is healed. But if a person can't do that, if a person can't say, hey, let's spend some time together, or let's build something, let's do something, let's create something, then they're still in a state as to where they are grieving. They are they're still hurt. They're still damaged. They haven't healed from the trauma of that situation in which you once went through or gone through. And this is why it's so important for you to understand that you'll never be able to build any kind of relationships, any kind of whether it's in an individual or organizational state, whether it's two people in a friendship, two people in a relationship, a organization such as a church, a corporation, a business, anything like that. You're not going to be able to build with those people because they are still dealing with the trauma. They're still dealing with the hurt associated with that initial event that caused you to come together. I'm trying to, and see, this is why you'll never build anything with such people. You won't. It's impossible. It is literally impossible. I've been in personal situations where I've experienced it. Now, anybody, again, this is a natural thing. We've all gone through this, where they got through their healing, or they got what they want, or they moved forward and they claimed they was a friend and everything, and then boom, never heard from them again. Never heard from them again. Because the reason why, and it's understandable. You got to understand, these people are not bad people. It's just the way that they go about dealing with the situations. The whole purpose of them to communicate with you is for them to vent, them to have someone to vent their expressions and their trauma and their feelings and their emotions. But once they've gotten over it, you were no longer needed. Because they weren't looking to build a friendship with you. They were just looking to trauma bond with you. Understand the difference between the two. Can you build friendships and long-lasting relationships with these people? Absolutely sure you can. However, you have to first make sure before you do that, you are healed. This goes for forming ministries. This goes for forming organizations of any kind. This goes for forming friendships, marriages. It does not matter. Heal first, then you can come together in true friendship and love.